Okay, so finally we can finish off our biome. So, or our dimension. So to make a dimension, go press plus. We're going to go down and click dimension, which is right here. So this will be called the graveyard. I create a new dimension. And just like how we had it be an underground thing, let's make this whole thing like the Nether, which will make it like giant caves. If you make it normal generation, that'll make it like the surface world. If you make it a Nether-like generation, that will make it like big caves. And if you do an end-like generation, that will make floating islands. Okay, so now, just as we had necessary blocks, our ground and dirt, like dirt, grass, and sand blocks before, that you need to find replacements for, here there's a main filler block. And so in the normal world, that is stone. In the nether, that is netherrack. And in the end, that is endstone. So you need to decide what your stone replacement is going to be. And I'm going to do, isn't blackstone a big thing now? I think blackstone would work pretty well. What is this one? Black terracotta. Oh, okay. There's all these black things. Okay, that's fine. We'll do blackstone. And then the fluid block. Ooh, you can make a fluid pretty easily. So you know I'm going to do that. It's not too hard. And so we're just going to go click fluid. And I'm going to make dirty water, I guess. Create a new fluid. And let's see if, I don't think that there is, but it'd be cool if there was a fluid template. Something that looks like water. Like I said, I don't think there is. This kind of looks interesting though, so I'm going to start with that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase it to be nice and transparent. And let's see what this looks like. Oops. Control Z. Let's make it all big. Okay, that looks much more transparent. If I do it again, that's a lot more transparent. Let's do that much, and then let's go and let's find a color that I'm going to paint this. Look like a bluish green, a dark, gross kind of color. There we go. And now, because it is gross, let's go into swatches, and we are going to put little, why would I go into swatches? Let's go and put some little brown, greenish brown bits in it and stuff. Just weird, gross things. We'll make it much less transparent so that they look much more solid. Oops, I forgot that my size was much bigger than my square. Okay. Okay, and that should be just fine. I guess I can add little green bits too. Maybe I'll add just to like by the lighter portions. Okay, then that kind of has an interesting effect, I guess. We're gonna save this texture. It'll look sort of weird, but we'll just see how it turns out. And I do want to save it as a block. That's important. And we'll call this dirty water still. So there is both a still and a flowing texture that we need to make. So this is just my still texture. And I'm going to put that in as still. And then we are going to go to workspace, go to resources, click on dirty water, and duplicate selected as a block. Dirty water moving. And that's my moving. Okay, sweet. And here, I'm going to just take this line and draw it out some. So it kind of looks like it's moving a bit. Take this color, draw it out some. I don't know if that's transparent enough for me though. I'm going to undo that. Okay, we're going to just make it look like it's flowing. So yeah, this is how I tend to do it, is I just draw lines going this direction. So I think that's generally how normal Minecraft water goes. Now it should kind of look like it is flowing. And to be honest, that looks good enough to me. Save this texture. Maybe I'll add a little more. Keep it exciting. Okay, and save this texture. Now we have a moving texture and a still texture, and they're very slightly different, but that should be okay. We'll be able to tell the difference. Auto-generated fluid bucket? Sure, why not? And you could put in a manual texture. I see kids do this all the time where they make their own texture, and it's great. If they've started, just let them do it and have fun. But I always just let it do it automatically. You can edit it if you want, but it kind of just works if you let it do it. Now we get a flow rate and strength. We can kind of change this, so yeah, how many ticks it takes for it to spread to another block. So I'm going to make it slightly slower than normal water because it's filled with gunk and stuff. So yeah, it has a higher flow rate of 8. Flow strength, I think that's how much it pushes the character. It also will be a little stronger because, you know, it's filled with gunk. Level decrease per block. Oh yeah, okay. With higher values, it will spread to a smaller area. So if I make this bigger, it'll be more like lava, how it goes only a couple blocks out and then it stops. And water will go out a whole bunch of blocks. And essentially, if you put it on a big flat thing, it's how big will your disk of water be. If you do it as 1, it will make a huge thing. But if you do it as like 8, it will not. Right? With higher values, the fluid will cover a smaller area. Yeah. 1 is for water and lava in the nether, 2 for lava in the overworld. Okay, well that seems sort of like what it does, but you can test it yourself and see what it does. I'm going to try 3 and see what that does. Sloped find distance. Oh, maybe that's more what I'm talking about, how long it will go till it finds a slope. But we'll just leave that. Can sources multiply? Yes. That's like how you can make an infinite water resource. Spawn drip particles? Yes. Drip particle, drip water. We don't need a special water. Tint type, water. I don't need an additional flowing condition. I've never tried to use that. And this should be good. We don't need any advanced properties here. Although you could make a glowing water or something, make it more opaque or something. Yeah, it's pretty transparent and everything. And you could make it flammable if you want, like oil is flammable, but I'm good. Triggers, yeah, we're not going to do this. Nothing there. And I will not generate lakes of it in the surface, but I will, so I'm going to click it and click the X, but I will in my own dimension, which is not up yet, but that's okay. Save mod element. Now we have dirty water for the graveyard. We're going to make that our fluid block. And there it is, dirty water. You selected item. And this is the still water. I don't know what. It doesn't ever show flowing water. That might actually be the flowing water, or that might, but it doesn't say flowing, so I don't know, I wouldn't worry about it. There we go. Biomes in this dimension. Our biome, the Ghosty Hills. Sky fog color. I want this to be this weird dark fog. Yeah. Sleep attempt? Deny. It's too scary to sleep there. Imitate overworld behavior? No. Okay. So I set my sleep intent as deny, and now we can worry about, are we going to imitate overworld behavior? Is there going to be a skylight source? Are we going to enable dense fog? I will enable dense fog. You can't really see. I might even make it slightly more gray. I don't know if transparency, sometimes transparency doesn't do a single thing for what you're doing. But maybe it will. So I just put that as a little transparent. The player can respawn there. Okay, that's kind of fun. So you can't sleep, but you can set your respawn, which is kind of cool. It's a graveyard. I don't know, for some reason that makes sense in my head. Does water vaporize? In the nether, water vaporizes because you can't put it down, but here you can put water down. Disable ambient light source. What is the difference between that? Global light source is disabled and dimension will be dark. Oh, I do want a light source. As skylight source, this will be, yeah, with the day-night cycle. Okay, so this skylight source, even if I enable this in the nether, it doesn't work. Yeah, and like I said, just always read these, see if you kind of like it. I'm not going to do overworld behavior because it's not really an overworld. That would be like animal spawns and stuff and the way the compass works and everything, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so this is another weird thing. Now we need to decide a portal frame block, portal frame particles, all that sort of stuff. So in making a dimension, you get to, it automatically will create a portal for you out of the things that you want the portal to be made out of. So I'm going to create a portal frame block, and we're just going to use the mud brick from before. The particles we're going to do, how about could just do enchantment table, that's kind of fun. So those will be like little words, I think, little letters, symbols, runes. Portal frame block luminance, sure, let's make it glow. Portal igniter item name. So in your portal, there are, I should really just talk about that. There are three aspects. There's the block, which goes in a big rectangle, and that would be what your the frame is. And so I just chose my mud brick. I didn't want to do anything crazy. The igniter item, that is going to be what replaces the flint and steel. So this would be like the obsidian for another portal, and this will be like your flint and steel. So I could make something like the skeleton key. So that's kind of fun. Skeleton of 2 L's. Now I'm not even sure. And we could make a texture. I'm just going to choose one of these. It's the skeleton key looks like a lightsaber, because that's fun. And portal block texture. So this one here is going to be, like for the nether portal, that would be the purple weird stuff that comes up after you light the portal. And then you know that it's working and you can go to the nether. That purple goo stuff comes up. I'm going to make mine our dirty water. There's no point in getting crazy with it. We're just going to make it a flowing dirty water, so it looks like it's moving a little bit. I don't know. And triggers, this will be like when it's used. We could use this to make like a an advancement or something like that. But I'll just leave these. Save mod element. And now we should be able to go to our dimension. So let's try that out. So dimension will take a lot longer. It's just the mod maker. A good reason to do it near the end, so you don't have to wait so long every time you want to play your game. Soon, and then just like with how I had to make a new world to test out if this to change anything about how it generates. Like maybe I want to add another structure. the number of biomes or even the entities that are in it, I would want to make another new world. So that is just really important to keep in mind, that whenever you get into this kind of thing, you're going to be making new worlds left and right. And that will also be streaming. Whoops, there we go. And I'm going to leave this one as new world. Okay. If you see this, world's experimental settings are not supported, the world uses blah 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 blah, you always press proceed. That will come up, and it'll come up for everybody, and somebody's going to raise their hand and be like, what should I do? And just click proceed. Okay, so here I am in this new world. There's my structure, so that's fun. I think my setting of -8 was pretty good, because I kind of wanted it to just generate on the surface like that. So that was just kind of a guess of how tall it was. But doing a minus value will put it in the ground. Okay, and now let's look up mud brick. So let's just get mud brick, and I think I have my igniter, which should look like a lightsaber, which is in tools. Here it is. Oh, oh. And with, recent updates, you can kind of make your portal whatever shape you want, or whatever size you want, so long as it is this. Something else that's weird, if you do it on the side here, doesn't work. But if you do it in the middle, it does. You'll just see people try and bring that up. I think it's the same way with nether portals too, so it's not like a new thing, but still, kids will very much be confused at times. So there we go. Let's go inside. And here we are in my dimension. So, one thing I noticed is that 0 trees have spawned, and many, many baddies. And I told all these little things to spawn, and flowers and mushrooms aren't spawning on mycelium, so I didn't know if it would work. That could just be that mycelium doesn't have the dirt tag. That's my guess. It sure looks like dirt, just with mushroom stuff on it. But that's just good to know. So I guess it would actually make sense for me to show you how to do that tag before I let you go. So, in order to give anything a tag, you can just click plus here, add a tag, and then enter the name of it. But there's some default tags. If you just go up here, add common tags to workspace, I can add Minecraft logs and Minecraft dirt and add those tags. And now I can go into dirt and I can add blocks to that. So let's add mycelium. Give it the dirt tag, although it really should have it. Save mod element, and then I could make something a log. So, I don't know. Maybe I want to make my walls logs, act like logs, so I could make them like trees around them. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, that is it. Okay.